Hello there, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nancy Kachingira. Ukraine's President Zelensky is returning home from a meeting of G7 leaders in Japan. It was a fruitful visit for him. He secured further promises of financial and military support, including American-made F-16 fighter jets. The commander of Ukraine's ground forces says they're close to surrounding the eastern city of Bakhmut. Ukraine has disputed Russia's claims to have taken full control of the city. Russia has lost thousands of men in its assault on Bakhmut, most of them from the Wagner mercenary force. The battle has been the longest and bloodiest of the war so far, but the city has little strategic significance. Let's go live now to our diplomatic correspondent, James Landell, who is in Kyiv. James, if you could explain something for us. Bakhmut is a small city, population just over 70,000. Why are Russia and Ukraine both at so much pain to say that this area still belongs to them?
Yeah, you're right. Bakhmut has no overt, substantial strategic importance. As you say, before the war, it had a population of about 70,000. It's now got just maybe a few thousand tops still living there. It's mostly ruins. It is not a city in as much anymore. It is just a series of ruined buildings. So therefore, the significance is not that it's some crucial strategic point like a river or a transport hub. It has importance because both sides have invested importance in it. The Russians have decided, and have, over the last 8 months, to throw a huge number of lives at it to try and secure it, to obtain some kind of propaganda victory, just so they could claim they'd won something. They also wanted to make a spearhead into that part of the Donbass so they could continue to try and achieve their aims of controlling that part of eastern Ukraine. On the other side, Ukraine has chosen to defend this at significant cost also to its own soldiers in terms of the number of lives that they have been spent defending it, simply for the very, very brutal calculation, which is this: that by locking up Russian forces in that particular battle, you keep them from other fights along the front line, and you also, frankly, kill a lot of Russian soldiers. It has been a very clear strategic aim by the Ukrainians to try to diminish the Russian war machine because of Russia's apparent willingness to throw so many lives, many of them untrained, many of them convicts, at the Ukrainian front lines. And so, although a lot of Ukrainian soldiers have died there, Ukraine's calculation is that more Russian forces have died in the process, and therefore it has been worthwhile. So if Russia were ever to fully capture it, that would be a propaganda victory for Russia. But Ukrainians say, well, it might be a victory, but it's a small v, and it's probably preceded by the word Pyrrhic because of the huge cost that Russia has incurred achieving it.
And it's very useful there that you paint the reasons why this is important to both sides. Russia says they're in control. Ukraine is disputing that. How much do we actually know about what's going on in Bakhmut?
Well, it's hard to know because we have to rely on the claims of both sides. And it's very difficult to check all of that. We can do a little bit with looking at satellite pictures. We can do a little bit with geolocating photographs that appear on social media. But by and large, where we think the truth is that Russian forces control the vast majority of what's left of Bakhmut, and they have done for some weeks. One Russian commander yesterday said that Ukraine holds an insignificant part of the city. One spokesman for the Eastern Military Command told us that there were Ukrainian forces in just a few buildings. But what we also know is that Ukraine is claiming that it is making advances to the northern outskirts and the southern outskirts of the city. And think tanks like the Institute for the Study of War, an independent group based in Washington, says that there is now a prospect of Ukrainian forces at least threatening to encircle the city. So I think it's wrong to assume that the story of Bakhmut is over.
All right. James Landell, our diplomatic correspondent, joining us from Kyiv. Thank you very much. Now we will bring you some breaking news now, because news just coming in says that the Ukrainian city of Dnipro has been targeted by 16 Russian missiles, and 20 drones. That's according to the army. So as we were talking there with James about the ongoing war, this is news coming in about a latest attack by Russian forces targeting the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. 16 Russian missiles, 20 drones. This is according to the army. So we'll bring you more on that as we get it.